In like 20 minutes, I launched the LLC and I told my wife, I said, we started a company. And she goes, well, what is it? I said, it's called Improvifi. She's like, well, what are you going to do? And I'm like, well, what I've done for the last 31 years for other banks and lenders. My biggest fear that I had 5 years ago was the fact that this whole thing that happened in the United States was going to empty out the buildings low enough that a lot of these buildings wouldn't have any revenue coming in. So instead of discounting to win the job, we maintain high profit margins, high value offer, rather than a discounting cash discount. We give them multiple payment options, but you are still offering a form of financing. So to take the concept of it's not just you're hurting your consumer, we have to go deeper and we have to go to marketing and advertising. And I've been standing up on the podium for years yelling at people saying, hey, you better get ready because there's a storm a-coming. So we're actually doing a big benefit by giving them a finance solution as a leveraging tool to pay for this thing, and it's just built into the loan anyway. So with Improvifi, we don't just sell financing, we sell financing, training, support, and technology.
Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of the Mobilization Mindset. My name is Scott Pieper. I'm CEO and founder of Mobilization Funding. And today we're going to talk a lot about different ways to cash flow your projects, from the lending side to the general contractors, the subcontractors, cash flow across the project owner down. And I got a great expert here to discuss that with me. He owns a company called Improvifi, and Chris Scoville. Welcome.
Thank you, man. What a great introduction. Normally, people just get this whole thing, the name of the company screwed up. You nailed it, man. Improvifi.
Yeah, first shot, man. No practice, no nothing.
When we built the company, it was funny because I was, we all come up with names, right? We're like, I'm at the computer and I knew what I wanted it to portray. And I went to foreign languages to try to get like improved financing improved, home improvement financing. And I'm like, well, wait, we do more than home improvement financing, so we can't say home in it. So I came up with Improvifi, financing improved, like a word play, right? .com. And I was like, well, that was easy. Then there was the LLC. And that's where the name adoption came from. It was just financing improved. We mixed it up a wee bit. So.
I got to tell you, I love the story of how you came up with your name. However, it's only the second best story I've ever had on the podcast, because the first one, which I'm going to break for a quick second here and tell everybody this one, I had a guest on. They had a company called Sukha, Sukha. Great company, great dudes. And I said, dude, how did you come up with the name Sukha? And he said, oh, we had a sound bath. Have you ever heard of a sound bath? And I'm like, no, man, like you got to break that down. He's like, okay, like picture like Costa Rica, like a guided meditation. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah, but like with mushrooms. I'm like, oh, cool. And so now he understands. So he came up, he said he saw it and it came to him in this like guided meditation with some help of some mushrooms. So it was a cool story. So
I get that.
Trump that one, but yours is second. I'll give it to you.
No, mine was, it was fast, it was quick, and I built the company in like 20 minutes. I launched the LLC. And I told my wife, I said, we started a company. And she goes, well, what is it? I said, it's called Improvifi. She's like, well, what are you going to do? And I'm like, well, what I've done for the last 31 years for other banks and lenders, we're going to do it better here and do all the things that they don't do and didn't do. And that's our differentiating factor. So yes, I'm a 31-year overnight success.
Right. So that's a good segue. What is Improvifi and what do you do?
Sure. So quite simple. We do, let's say there's 4 pillars to our business. We offer lending solutions to our clients, which are typically contractors and or property owners. We offer sales training to our clients, which are our contractors. We help teach them how to offer financing, about financing, how to position it, obstacles, objections. I got an entire university called School that we've built for them. It's the program training center for Improvifi. And then the third pillar would be support, client success managers, tools like the deal desk, a hotline number to call to say, hey, I don't know how to structure this deal. Or, hey, I'm at the point of sale with my customer and they don't know what an 18 months deferred interest, same as cash loan is. Can you talk to them? So that's support. And the last but not least would be technology, right? Like our mobile app, how to take a loan at the point of sale and do a loan up to $400,000 with a soft credit pull, instant approval, and get them the funds between 5 to 7 days without an appraisal, or do an unsecured loan to $150,000 and pay the contractor directly. So technology, support, sales training, and then of course, last but not least, lending solutions, the actual money, right? Let's get to the cash flow. Money is cash flow. Cash flow is money. So
That's right. There's no doubt about that. So our audience is primarily definitely guided around cash flow.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Commercial contractors,
Nice.
manufacturing companies, but there are a lot of residential construction contractors. I do think, listen, why
Cool.
I was really interested in having you on the show, though, I think your conversations around cash flow, yes, your products and tools apply a little bit more to residential than they
Mm,
may commercial, at least in Improvifi.
yeah.
However, the principles of what you're solving for and the problems are the exact same. And because you had such great information and knowledge around solving those issues, identifying those issues, I thought some of the tricks of the trade that you've established in both the residential and commercial side for
Mhm.
Improvifi really could carry over even to the commercial contractors, things they should be thinking about. And then for a lot of commercial contractors in their other jobs, they do a lot of stuff on the side.
Yeah.
And I think what you do directly, it would apply to a lot of those folks too.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why I wanted to have you on. And I think what you've talked about today is so far going to be engaging. So
Cool.
let me kick it off to you like this. Let's just talk about cash flow. Why
Yeah.
is it such a big problem in construction? Where are the pain points? And how have you just, instead of trying to change, move a boulder up a hill, how did
Yeah.
you just adapt and work with what you got and create some solutions around that? And how do you recommend that to contractors?
We break down a couple things. Let's who should we pick on? Let's pick on the insurance industry and roofing. Just pick one of them because it could be anything in life can be adapted to anything else because accounts receivable is accounts receivable is accounts receivable, right? But let's pick on the insurance industry and the changes that are happening with policies. So across the nation, insurance companies aren't buying projects like they used to. Yet roofers still need to roof. Yet the door knocking experience of, hey, I'm going to get on your roof. I'm going to do inspection. And if you got some shingle or hail damage, we're going to buy this roof from the insurance company, right? That's how they bought the F-350 jacked up truck, right? So many of those were taking orders, we're slamming them through the insurance companies are just paying. That was the years ago. Now, industry wide across the United States, I've been doing this since 1991, by the way. I started in construction in 87, building custom homes. Yeah, I'm that old. So it's changed. The insurance companies aren't paying out what they used to pay, and they're not paying fast. And now the ACV, RCV policies are changing, so they're not paying as much. And deductibles aren't 0.25%, they're 2 or 3. So we've created a cash flow problem, haven't we? If the consumer doesn't have the money, or if the commercial property owner doesn't have the capex, what do they do? Let them leverage it. How do they leverage? Well, the same way we always have. We borrow money from somebody else and we pay it back over terms. So, in the roofing industry and the residential side, you get these calls from contractors that are concerned about their business. Because for years we've been doing it this way, Chris. And I've been standing up on the podium for years yelling at people saying, hey, you better get ready because there's a storm a coming. And you need to adapt financing solutions in your business to make an affordable payment solution offer to your customers and have it in the portfolio. So if they need to leverage these monies from Wall Street, commercial and or residential, you've got the solutions ready at the point of sale to help these people. And that's what's happening right now. It's the insurance policy that's really screwing up the storm restoration world. It's the non-payouts on insurance projects. It's the policy changes. It's deductibles. It's the fact that a consumer on the residential side, and you probably know more of the cash flow issues they're having on the capex side. Commercial's tough right now because a lot of those spaces are empty, right? So they don't have cash on hand for TPO low slope or water tower changeouts. They just don't have the cash on hand like they used to in the capex. They got to go find the funds. It's the same damn thing in residential, man. If they don't have the funds, the contractor whether he be residential or commercial, should have a portfolio of solutions to help them at the point of sale to leverage it. So that's just one thing. Then we've got guys that don't have any money. You don't have any money. You don't have any cash flow to run your business? Nope. Never needed it before. Well, how do you pay your subs? Well, I don't know. Like, get cash on hand, get a line of credit, get a business term loan going, have the money there for emergency cases. Really be proactive. Have an AR system set up. I mean, like, there's so many things that these contractors can kind of get ahead of things to prepare themselves for what they're actually facing right now so they can actually stay in business. And then along with that is the whole race to the bottom is never worth the win. What does that mean? I'm going to discount my jobs to win more jobs. Yeah, but your margins suck and your profitability's gone. So you're going to put yourself out of business? Yeah, I got to win the jobs. No, you don't. You have to win profitability and margins so you
Yeah.
can stay in business to help your clientele. How many clients do you serve that are willing to race to the bottom and discount everything just to land a job?
Because they
It's
feel
not,
like they need the working capital. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let me
So
ask you a question. Do you think that's the biggest problem with commercial construction contractors and other contractors in the space now, or is it something else?
I don't really know if that's the biggest problem. My biggest fear that I had 5 years ago was the fact that this whole thing that happened in the United States was going to empty out the buildings low enough that a lot of these buildings wouldn't have any revenue coming in. So, and I'm thinking construction. Like when I drive by commercial buildings, I'm thinking construction, not occupancy rates.
Hmm.
Then I started thinking occupancy rates. And then I started thinking about the economic situation of a commercial building. So if we have a low occupancy rate and then we have a property improvement that needs to take place, the lighting, the paving, like it could be the windows, the doors, it could be anything
Hmm.
on the property building. Where are they going to come up with a cap for the repair? Do they have it in reserves? Because if the occupancy rate is so low, do they have it in there for this stuff? Like, I don't know. And then HOAs and condos, we do that type of financing. And then we get into assessments and stuff like that where they've got to have a board meeting and then build a $350,000 TPO roofing. Like it goes deep. So you would probably be able to answer that better. What are they? What are the cash flow problems of the commercial contractor in your world? And where are they going to get the funds if the property owners of these commercials don't have them? Where are they going? Who's good at doing that? Right?
Yeah, I think in the big thing, it's a good question. It depends on where you work and who you work for. But at the end of the day, a lot of these commercial contractors are bidding jobs that are going to happen. They are either
Yeah.
city, state, municipalities, horizontal construction, vertical construction, depends on what you're in. It
Yeah.
also depends on trade and specialty. But most commercial construction projects, private ones, should be funded before they're setting foot on it. So that's one, right? GC probably wouldn't be out working or taking on some risk. They might take, pre-construction risk, but the subcontractor is not necessarily taking that kind of risk. Maybe some of the engineering guys and structural guys and stuff, so forth. But they should be making sure that it's a funded project. Um,
That's on a new build construction.
New build could be a renovation for a city, state, municipality building. It could be interior build outs with tenant improvement dollars and maybe something like that. If you're working on your single tenant constructions, those should have high credit tenants that you're building for already. Like think your gas stations, your banks, your car washes. If you're down here in Florida, I don't know how they're going up everywhere, but that kind of stuff. Your
Yeah, yeah,
single entity LLC real estate developer on a multi-family, multi-use project, those you're not seeing a lot of those. And those ones you should
yeah,
be careful of. Those a lot of those may not be funded, but people are wise to that.
yeah, yeah,
Um, the biggest mistake we see folks make is inside their business. Not they don't have good access to numbers,
yeah.
their own cash flows. What is cash flow? They're looking at their bids and their what their profitability is going to be in the bid, but not necessarily how do you execute to that profitability.
Right, right.
Maybe you have some insight that you could offer, and how do you help protect your profits? And you know, um, yeah, how do you protect your profits without hurting your own business?
On the commercial side, it probably wouldn't be the expert. On the residential side, I can speak to. because we've been around it so long. We, when we bring on a client at Improvifi to help with financing solutions, we put a lot of we go pretty deep to make sure that they're going to stay profitable, to make sure that their margins are healthy enough for them to stay in business. And then we go a step further to make sure that they don't discount. And back to that point of, you know, doing a $10,000 roof to win the job at eight and you only profit $750. Was it worth taking that on? So we spend a lot of time making sure that the profit margins of our clients are profitable enough for them to stay in business, to pay W-2, 1099, their subs and whatnot, and to make sure that the sales reps aren't discounting under certain specific points. And then we train them on the financing aspect of presenting the finance solutions at the point of sale. So instead of discounting to win the job, we maintain high profit margins, high value offer rather than a discounting cash discount. We give them multiple payment options. So it could be something like an 18 months, same as cash for your cash buyer that wants to leverage the money from a Wall Street. Or it could be a 2 to 20-year term that's an unsecured loan that they pay back, or they can use the equity in their house at the point of sale. But we never train our contractors to go out there and sell jobs and discount below their margins of profitability, because then they're just giving things away for free and discounting. We stay away from discount. However, we also train our contractors to build margin into their pricing to protect against the cost of financing if it's incurred. So again, we take that line and go, where's your profit margins? Are you profitable here? Yes, good. Could you pay yourself? Yeah, good. Are we making money? Yes, good. Now let's bump it up 5% and let's go sell. And they're like, why 5%? Well, because this loan might cost 4 points, 4.25 to offer. This loan costs nothing to offer. This costs nothing to offer, but a credit card swipe fee is 3. So if I have built a 5% margin at the point of sale and they swipe a credit card and I'm at 10,500, then I made an extra 2 points. If they take the dealer fee that's 4.25, I make 0.75 on that deal. If they take the one that's no dealer fee, I make an extra 5 points. If they take the secured loan, I make an extra 5 points. And if they pay cash, I have the ability to do this as a contractor. Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, appreciate it. You're going to be paying cash. You asked for a cash discount. I do have the authority. The office has given me authority to give you that 5% discount. If you give me 3 referrals, church, work, and school, and a yard sign for 90 days, I can give you 5% discount today. Negotiation rather than cash discounting under their margins. So that's what we really like to do, is train our contractors to be profitable, to be high valued, to never go underneath that line of losing profits to affect their cash flow, but they can still sell and negotiate, be a high value contractor, and offer financing solutions at the point of sale.
So I think the solar market does a good job with this, but not all specialty contractors. If you the folks that sell solar to homeowners, they seem to do a good job having like a financing tool available and ready. And as you're describing it, I'm thinking to myself, like, this is a great opportunity for like that specialty contractor or the roofing contractor that you're going to the same homeowner, giving them an option to finance that. That doesn't mean they become the bank.
Yeah. So like, and I'm not going to make this, I'm not going to pick on solar, but they're having some issues right now. But you're correct. The reason why the solar guys, when they did exist and when lending existed for it, it's slowly going away. The reason why is they're selling against the monthly utility.
Right.
So in solar, if we can do 100% offset and beat the utility, it's an easy sale. So we sell the monthly payment to beat the utility. All right. You know who else does a killer job at that? HVAC, energy efficiency things. Because if there's energy efficiency savings and cost analysis of, hey, you're at about a 6 SEER right now in this old BART system. Right? Why'd they put a commercial system package unit on your residential house? Yes, that's a true story. That happened to me in Florida. I had a BART commercial package unit hooked up to my residential house, completely inefficient. It was like 3 SEER. So that if an HVAC company could come in and say, hey, our Mitsubishi system will be able to be an 18 SEER system, and the energy offset savings and what your monthly costs are going to be X, compared to your utility usage on your 3 SEER, it's an easy sale.
Yeah,
So to your point, some of these savvy home improvements can be sold just off of the energy savings and the cost savings, which is really cool. Air conditioning guys have been doing this for years. Generator guys do it really well because we've got the scare tactic. Solar guys did it for a very long time when lending existed. It's slowly going away to nothing now. So they're having challenges now because they have to go out and sell cash deals now. And, it takes a special person to say, hey, yeah, put $50,000 of solar on my house. I won't get the return on it for 7 years. So with that being said, specialty contractors like window and door, siding, garages, pipes, gutters, roofs, anything in and on or around it are now getting really good at it because of affordability. So,
agreed.
yeah.
So many contractors, though, philosophically, whether it's residential or commercial, they have a problem with either offering financing, taking
Mhm.
on financing. It's a very cash driven, like I should just pay cash. I want to pay cash. I want to pay cash. And therefore, it bleeds into things they do personally, professionally, the way they offer services. Why do you
Yeah.
think that is? And how do you convince um, contractors to think differently?
Yeah, it's an old way of thinking. So we're more of a modern world now. And my executive assistant, her name is Katie, is 25 years old. So let's talk about the new homeowner. She's 25 years old. She owns a house. She buys everything on Amazon. And everything when she buys on Amazon gives her a buy now, pay later option of 6 equal payments. And when Katie goes down to Verizon, she buys a new phone and there's a monthly payment. She's not paying cash for this. And when Katie goes to the auto place, she buys a car and she can't afford the car. So it's a monthly payment there. And when she buys a home, there's a mortgage. So there's a monthly payment there. So the buy now, and then when she turns on the TV, every ad says buy now, pay later, no monthly payments for 36 months. So here we are. We're Mr. Old fashioned contractor that thinks all of my customers pay cash. When your consumers have been fed that everything is financeable, and you show up and you say, your new roof is $25,000, pay me. And they're like, well, I don't have $25,000. Do you have buy now, pay later? And they go, no, all of our customers pay cash. No, they don't. All of your customers that pay cash are the ones that pay cash because you're missing all the sales of the customers that needed credit or needed a financing or a payment solution. So we are very rapidly taking these contractors of the old school mind that cash is king. All of my customers pay cash. Oh, they do they? Do you take a swipe? Do you take a credit card? Sure, we do. Well, that's a form of financing. You're just putting the onus on the consumer to pay 29% and have it paid off by the end of the month. Like that's really mean, by the way. But you are still offering a form of financing. So to take the concept of it's not just you're hurting your consumer, we have to go deeper and we have to go to marketing and advertising. An ad on Google for ABC roofing compared to XYZ roofing. This guy says roofs from $99 a month. No interest, 12 months. Soft credit pull, easy apply, instant approval. Buy your roof now. Well, that's cool. That was impactful. I was looking to buy a roof and I saw it on Google. And then you go to XYZ and it says nothing. Your consumer or your homeowners might not have ever thought that they were going to finance a roof repair or replacement. But once they see it, they're more apt to go, I got to talk to this guy because they have an offer or they're different or they have a consumer credit center. Whereas I go to XYZ and it doesn't even make a mention of an offer, an advertising, a promo, or anything. They're going to be more apt to go to the guy that has the affordable payment solution. So there's offer side, aspect side, and it's no longer the F word. We train and teach our contractors to offer financing early, always, and often in everything that we do in a very soft manner. We have a consumer credit center. We're here to help you with affordability. We don't care how you'd like to pay. We're here to meet our buyers where they'd like to be met and let them pay how they'd like to pay. It's a very soft approach nowadays, and everything we do is a soft credit pull. Therefore, we're not negatively impacting your credit score to even see what you're approved to.
Mhm.
So it's a nice soft approach nowadays rather than a commodity. Here's your finance link. Fill out the paperwork. Your credit score is going to be impacted 7 points just to see if you're approved. It's not cold anymore. It's very kind. It's friendly. It's soft. And it's, hey, we're just here to help you with affordability. I don't care how you want to pay. Just make sure you pay me and not my competitor. So,
Do you think, what do you think are some limitations around the ways that contractors will think about that financing or can use it to actually improve their ability to sell?
Yeah. Limitations, let's do that first, and then let's talk about improve to sell. The limitations, and I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible, is just complete ignorant. It's what they don't know. It's being misfed misinformation by these Facebook groups that, hey, you should use this lender because it's no dealer fee. Well, in the meanwhile, the customer is not educated on what that no dealer fee program is, and all that it is underneath the smoke and the mirrors is a personal loan being offered at 19 to 38% instead of being educated on, hey, there's different types of lenders out there. Some have personal loans, unsecured loans, secured loans. I should be really educated on what this thing is. Another thing is that the contractors are so like, what are the dealer fees? What is it going to cost me to offer this thing? How dare you make me pay for the money and I'm bringing you the customer bank? That thinking just has to go bye-bye because this isn't F&I in the auto dealership where they're paying to buy your business on something that can be repoed. This is, we're the lender. If you want the promo, you got to pay for it. If you want the long-term loan with the payment option, you don't have to pay for that. Like the whole dynamic thinking of contractors not being ignorance, not being educated on what loans are and what type they should offer, and then the holding back. I don't want to pay for the money. You don't have to pay for the money. Your consumers, your property owners pay for the cost of financing within the cost of the project
Hmm.
because financing is a product and it is built into the roofing system. It is built into the air conditioning system, the water tower for commercial, the paving outside, the lights. It's a product. Financing is the means to get the thing done. So therefore, the cost of financing are built actually into the line item cost breakdown of what the actual total number is. Whether it be 5%, 8%, 10%, or 0%, it's built in. So
So why do you think a lot of contractors don't think of it like that? They don't think of it like it's nails. They could just like if you're going to put the roof in, nails is a material cost.
because they haven't talked to you or I yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally an education. I can get on with a contractor and in 10 minutes and go, I've never thought of financing being a line item. Well, it
Hmm.
is. If there's a cost to it, it has to be incurred and paid by somebody, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, who wants the property improvement? Well, the property owner. Great. Do they have cash? No. Well,
Yeah. Why do
why
you have
should
to be the one to pay for it?
you don't pay for it? The consumer pays for the luxury. It is a luxury to get a home improvement or a commercial improvement, have it done, and you get to pay for it over a period of time and get to reap the benefits for your taxes, your write-offs, your depreciation write-offs, your cash flow, your home improvement. You don't have to pay for it all up front. No, you mean I didn't have to deplete my 401k or touch my savings? No. So we're actually doing a big benefit by giving them a finance solution as a leveraging tool to pay for this thing, and it's just built into the loan anyway. It's just like the closing cost for a mortgage.
Hmm.
Very few are taking all of the costs and coming to the table with cash for the closing costs. Closing costs are just built into the mortgage that they pay over the next 30 years.
That's right.
It's the same damn thing. So just got to train them and coach them more. That's it.
So if a contractor's listening today and they're thinking like, damn, man, I need to tighten some of this stuff up,
Yeah.
where would they even begin to start? What's the best thing for them to do right away?
Yeah, we require people to talk to us. Where's my logo, right? Go to improvifi.com. There's like a little form on there, and you just fill it out, and you get together with one of us, one of my consultants, and we talk. We want to learn your business. I want to know what your pain points are and your problems. I want to know what your average ticket is. I want to know if you do commercial or residential and what you sell. Because with that, I have to understand your business to say, okay, here's the products and solutions that this company should be offering. And here's their margins. So good, we can offer this solution here because they're in this part of the world. And then, okay, great, we've got these products and your average, your zero cost averaging of that's going to be about 4.75. So margin wise, let's build that in. And then we say, okay, hey, I think we've got some great solutions for you. Here's how we move forward. It all starts with getting to know us. We get to know you. We figure out if we can work together. We should work together. Sometimes I just get on the phone and educate people and I send them packing and they come back in 6 months and say, hey, we went and tried something else, man, and you were right. It was just awful. Sometimes they're like, hey, let's go and build this thing and then we have great success together. Sometimes I just get on the phone to educate people and they thank me profusely because they didn't know that they should audit their current finance partners' take rate, dealer fees. declines, counteroffers, approvals, the relationship. Are they training me? Do they give me attention? Do they answer the phone? Do they have a deal desk? Do they have a university? Do they have a client success manager? Like, I just got off of another particular podcast where we talked about data and we talked about relationship. And then with any company that hires you and they hire me, there has to be data that we empirically we look at this data to help them with cash flow. But there's also the relationship of what you do for your clients, right? That has a tremendous amount of value in the partnership and the ROI of what we do that we charge our clients, right? We better have an impactful data stack and performance stack on the personal side of our business too, and our on how we're supporting them for us to be able to deliver that ROI. So there's a lot to look at. We just start with a phone conversation to learn their business.
I love it. I
Amen.
love it. So tell me about the lending arm side. What kind of I can hear if I'm a contractor right now, I think, okay, this sounds awesome. What do I have to pay for? What does this cost me?
Yeah.
Is it all cost on the customer? Where's the bad?
Um, I would say there's zero bad. We like to train our contractors to sell a value stack selling system of what they sell. You don't just sell a roof, you sell a roofing system, right? So with Improvifi, we don't just sell financing, we sell financing, training, support, and technology. So my value stack is like this, and my competitors give you a rate sheet and a sales rep. So what does it cost? To be on our platform annual, it's about 2,500 bucks a year. And that includes everything that we discussed today: unsecured, secured, commercial, access to all this cool stuff, the training, the support, the university, the client success managers, the deal desk, the mobile app, all that cool stuff. So it's 2,500 bucks. So basically, a roofer will ROI after their first job with us. Because if we're going to cash flow and make them money and make them profit and they used financing, they win. The rest of the year is the gravy train. So getting the ROI on 2,500 bucks, it happens very quickly. What does it cost from a lending perspective? Great. So if we have 5 lending portfolio solutions that we set up their mobile app with, one of my first ones is no dealer fee, and they have a 4.25. So they have to build 4%, 5, let's just call it 5% for giggles. And that's what you have to build into your pricing. The next lender portfolio is all no dealer fees. The third portfolio is no dealer fee. So far, we only have to build 5% in. Now, what we do over here for your challenge credit area, the people that have that 550 credit score to the 660, it's kind of like buy here, pay here lending, right? They got to pay more. They couldn't go to Ford and get the 1.9% 72. They had to go across the street and get the 25% on the used Ford because, well, they have a 550 credit score. We even have that type of lending. Now, with that, we break it off from the mobile app. So we know that when somebody isn't approved at boom, boom, and boom, they go over here and we reprice. Why? Because we don't want to hurt our cash flow and our profitability and our margins. So we have the ability to train the contractor on a $10,000 ticket. If that money ain't 10,000 anymore, it actually costs 11,500, $1,500 more. We have to reprice the job and present 11,500. So the cost of financing is incurred by the consumer, not the contractor, because we don't hurt our cash flow and our profits and our margins. So with that being said, 2,500 bucks a year gets the partnership, and that gives access to our commercial lending solutions at Purple Apple Loans and our residential stuff and our training and all that cool stuff and all the technology. And then, of course, with each one of the particular lenders, you'll build a little margin, and if there is a dealer fee, into the pricing.
I love it. So early on, we talked a little bit about before we got started, you talked about Simon Sinek and some books. You seem like a guy who may have read a little bit, does some education studying. You got any
Yeah,
good book recommendations
I
for
do.
folks?
I'm working on 2 right now. The Purple Cow,
Yeah.
Seth Godin. I challenge this book. I love the concept of the purple cow because I believe that Improvifi literally is the purple cow. We are an absolute blue ocean strategy in our market. Like nobody does what we do in the entire United States or world. We are just that different. We are the purple cow. So I would say read this. I would say go to ChatGPT and say, summarize Seth Godin's Purple Cow in the most modernistic manner for me, and then read the 10 pages that your ChatGPT does. So many of these companies are out of business now that he talks so proudly of. I struggled with that, but the concept is cool. Um, the second one that I'm into, it's so funny. You knew I'd have a couple books right here, right? Is they ask, you answer. And the philosophy of what I'm doing, working my way through this, is a lot of contractors find me on social media, and then a lot of them ask questions. And over the years, I have really adapted my coaching and the way that I answer questions now. So I'm learning a lot from Marcus Sheridan in that particular book on how I answer better with an educational format rather than feature and benefity or pitchy. So
Yeah.
I do more education now in my talking than I've ever done in my life, and I'm learning a lot from that particular book.
Yeah, Marcus Sheridan's a great read. His story and his pool business and what he did there in I think it was Virginia, if I remember correctly, is excellent. Like so ahead of the game, like totally cool concept. I think for service-based businesses
Yeah,
in construction, in a market, you
yeah,
could do no wrong by following the principles that Marcus Sheridan put out and the way he
yeah,
managed that. I mean, it's just solid. And the SEO, Google marketing around that, analytics that he created and the way he delivers it, I think is genius. So those are two great
yeah,
books.
yeah,
Awesome. Good reads, dude. I love it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I was a C student in school, by the way. Couldn't pay attention to nothing. Um, I wanted to be out skateboarding, riding my motocross, my BMX bike, building forts. I wanted to hit the hammer and the nail. I just was not challenged in school at all. I just did not like school, except for public speaking.
There you go. That's the opposite. You can find the opposite sides. Most people hate public speaking, probably feel like school's a little bit.
And when they're like, we need you to get up in front of the room and for 10 minutes teach somebody something, I was like, oh my gosh, slap shot with a hockey stick or teach them how to shave. And I didn't even have hair in my face.
That's awesome.
Can I go? Can I go? Can I go? Oh my gosh, I was so annoying.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I love to read now. I love to learn now because it's impactful. I take what I learn and share, and then I put it into, what we do here each and every day is help other people, right? So, yeah.
Well, Chris, man, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your knowledge and information. I think you got a pretty cool thing going there. I think if any residential contractors, especially, jump on the concept, if you're delivering value to consumers in their home and you're running into some problems with pricing and people saying they can't afford it, they need like this is a 10 out of 10 option for you in terms of solutions, in my opinion, offering them financing. It might as well. You say you're not a lender, you're not an originator, no doubt, but you are someone who's trying to sell your services. And this is a great method tool for you to put in there in your kit. And then on the commercial construction side, I love how we shared the sides, the problem, the pain points, the things you could do. And I know you got a second side of your business called the Purple Apple Loans to explore too. So if you are working with commercial contractors, and if you're a commercial contractor and you're working with owner developers that can't get financing yet or haven't had their financing yet, and you need to help them, that's a
Yeah,
good option too.
it
Hopefully I
is. And
nailed that for you.
you did. PurpleAppleLoans.com, if I may add, is a concierge white glove service. It's very unique. These commercial people, and I've been in this space a long time, these commercial roofers, HOA condo, church financing, nonprofit, they can't find this money just laying on the side of the street. So what we've done is we've put a portfolio of lenders together and already created them. We have them all here. They work with us and for us. And all you got to do is go to purpleappleloans.com, fill out a form. Nick will call you. Yes. Wow. An actual live person will call you to say, hey, what's the scope? What are you looking for? What do you need? How much money? And then we go back to our portfolio and go, okay, that option, that one, and that one. We bring them back to you and your client, your property owner, and say, here's what we got. Would you like to apply? Great. Let's apply. Let's get it through underwriting. Let's come back with the offer. And let's all three of us, Nick, contractor, property owner, go, all right, let's make a decision. Now, the big deal is bringing the property owner and the contractor together to protect the deal. The last thing we allow at Purple Apple Loans is a property owner to come to us behind a contractor and take that money to go hire someone else. So we're very protective of our clients and our contractors to make sure that when we've underwritten a deal, built a deal, and structured it, that all parties are partied to the deal. that they're all in it together to make sure that that money comes back to that contractor for that particular project. So it's
Nice.
super important because I've seen property owners come to banks and they walk in, they get the money, and they hire another contractor because you've already bidded the project. We want to bring control to the commercial world, which has never existed before. It's
Yeah.
always, you do the scope, you do the project line and cost breakdown. They go get the money and they hire somebody else a lower bid because, like, what are you doing? I'm the one that, no. We bring the residential side of protection, the closed loop funding to the commercial side. So,
I love it.
yeah, man.
Well, Chris, thanks for joining, man. I hope you enjoyed it. I think you did a great job explaining your stuff. And listen, folks, if this helped you in any way, please share it. You can find Chris on LinkedIn. I'm sure he's got a great website at improvifi.com.
Yeah.
Of course, you can find us at mobilizationfunding.com, me on LinkedIn as well, and our YouTube channel at Mobilization Funding on YouTube is also available. Please share the show, get the word out, and until next time, have a great week, and may God bless you.